At the moment, Triple H is serving as the Chief Content Officer for WWE. Last week, the game was approached by Randy Orton during his last broadcast appearance on SmackDown. Orton vs. Kevin Owens was added to the Crown Jewel 2024 program as a result of this passionate encounter. The King of Kings may soon make an appearance on WWE television to punish Adam Pearce for his recent Raw mishandling, according to recent events. The introduction of Bloodline 2.0 to the Red brand has caused the 46-year-old some displeasure. To top it all off, he warned the SmackDown GM to rein down his roster in an email he sent. On the other hand, viewers have noticed that Monday evenings have been chaotic under Pearce's watch, as seen by the continuous fights between Bronson Reed and Seth Rollins. After last week's intense confrontation between the Tsunami and the Visionary, this week, Reed met Rollins in the parking lot, leading to yet another incident. Rollins was hospitalized because Pearce tried to intervene but failed. If Pearce, as an authority figure, fails to keep Raw under control, Triple H may suspend him as a form of punishment. This might be the Chief Content Officer sending a message to the two GMs about the need of keeping a tight rein on their rosters. An interesting development on WWE television might include the game as an authoritative figure in this plot. A surprise visit by Triple H might be in store for Crown Jewel 2024. Since Kevin Owens and Randy Orton's battle has already been announced, fans are wondering whether the Chief Content Officer will have a bigger part in this plot, maybe even making an appearance during the bout in Saudi Arabia. To spare the Viper any serious harm, the cerebral assassin might step in halfway through the bout. For the same reason that Triple H was hesitant to approve a bout with the prize fighter, he cautioned Orton before the encounter that he did not want to see him sidelined again. Triple H also warned Orton that, compared to their first encounter, Owens is much more merciless. Thus, the game may step in to prevent Kevin Owens from revealing his shadowy side at Crown Jewel 2024 and shield his old Evolution colleague from harm. Thanks in large part to his creative input on SmackDown and Monday Night Raw, Triple H has assumed a more prominent role in determining WWE's destiny. Amidst the continuous mayhem on Raw, rumors have circulated that he may need to adopt a more disciplinarian role, despite his reputation for pushing wrestlers to explore their identities and push limits. According to the rumor mill, Triple H is considering suspending a 46-year-old WWE superstar who has been wildly unpredictable on Raw recently and has failed to maintain control in the ring. What may happen if Triple H chooses to pull the trigger on such a daring move? Fans are wondering who it could be. Which celebrity is this? Some fans have speculated that it may be an experienced figure like Adam Pearce, who has been involved in many conflicts while portraying a WWE official on TV. Keeping order has been an increasingly difficult role for Pearce, who acts as an authority figure on Raw as storylines escalate and superstars battle both inside and outside of the ring. Unpredictability, akin to the Attitude Era, has recently returned to Raw due to wrestlers like Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Rhea Ripley, and Judgment Day's riotous group starting feuds that quickly escalate. Although Pearce has made every effort to maintain calm, Triple H may believe that his failure to completely restore order justifies a suspension in order to reassert his control. Envision the following. The theme song from Triple H rips across the stadium as Monday Night Raw begins, shocking the crowd and setting the stage for an epic moment. With a straightforward look on his face, the game enters the ring to address the crowd and the Raw roster. The last few weeks have been really wild, he admits, with superstars slamming each other whenever possible and completely disobeying the rules set by referees like Adam Pearce. He notes that the bouts have gotten out of hand, which threatens the show's credibility, and that order has not been restored despite Pearce's best efforts. As he describes the narrow line between healthy rivalry and complete chaos in the ring, Triple H maintains a solemn tone. As Chief Content Officer, He says it's his job to make sure WWE programs are entertaining while still having a solid foundation. If my officials are unable to manage it, then it is my responsibility to step in, he insists. Everyone in the audience is on the edge of their seats because they know a big news is about to happen. His surprising move is to summon Adam Pearce to the ring. Pearce walks into the arena and gets in the ring with Triple H, seeming somewhat nervous but keeping his composure. Triple H confronts him head-on, praising his efforts but highlighting RAW's precarious state of mental health. The show's framework has been damaged, he says, because of particular occurrences like the recent altercation between McIntyre and Rollins, which ended with security rushing to separate them, and the unsanctioned assaults by Judgment Day. The bombshell is then dropped by Triple H. Pearce's incapacity to maintain peace on Raw has him contemplating a brief ban. Pearce tries to justify his conduct, visibly taken aback, and the audience responds with a combination of amazement and delight. The superstars, he says, are hell-bent on taking things into their own hands now that RAW's intensity has hit unprecedented heights. Although Pearce claims he has done everything in his ability to oversee the roster, the recent changes in RAW's dynamic have made his job more difficult than before. While Triple H acknowledges the validity of Pearce's statement, he remains resolute in his belief that the situation demands swift action. He believes that a suspension would help WWE management reassert their control by sending a clear message to the whole roster that no one is exempt from WWE's rules, even those in positions of power. In an effort to save face, Pearce requests a second opportunity to prove himself. Just give him another week, and he'll put an end to the anarchy on Raw and sanction all bouts. I agree to the suspension if he doesn't succeed. Triple H gives it some thinking before agreeing, giving Pearce a last opportunity to control the situation. If you can't keep things in line next week, consider yourself suspended, Triple H warns at the close of the program. As the WWE Universe anxiously watches, Pearce nods, clearly aware of the seriousness of the situation. The next week, viewers anticipate RAW's next broadcast and wonder what will happen on it. Pearce has it tough with the recent terror reign of Judgment Day, the rising power of Rhea Ripley, and the unstable rivalry between Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins. In the opening scene of Raw, Pearce is shown on high alert, prepared to interfere at the first indication of danger, with security standing by. The superstars' tension is palpable as they realize Pearce's job security is in jeopardy. In fact, some of them are intentionally trying to test him. In the course of the act, we see Pearce fumble with the reins. By taking advantage of Pearce's vulnerable position, Judgment Day continuously teases him, attacking him in the ring and trying to interrupt bouts. In the middle of a bout, Pearce and security arrive to the ring and demand that Ripley and Dominic Mysterio stop their surprise attack on an unsuspecting opponent. As he tries to restrain Dominic and Ripley, Pearce becomes physically involved in the ensuing struggle. Fans can see the anxiety and irritation written all over Pearce's face as a result of this, and it only goes to show how out of control the issue has become. The high-stakes match between Rollins and McIntyre, the evening's main event, goes horribly wrong when the two wrestlers, visibly drained but still unyielding, start wielding steel chairs. To disperse the two celebrities, Pearce hastily emerges once again, this time requesting more help. Unfortunately, the damage has already been done. Raw has once again descended into chaos. People are talking about what happened to Pearce the next day on social media. As promised, Triple H returns for a second visit, this time to deal with the mayhem from the previous night. While praising Pearce's commitment, he reminds him that things have become much worse on Raw and invites him to the ring. Triple H announces Pearce's 4-week suspension with a sense of finality, taking effect immediately.